Hi everybody, Torian here, also known as the Loud House Critic. So I'm the kind of guy who actually likes to review Loud House episodes for big Loud House fans out there. But there's a lot of things I can like other than the Loud House, and that's movies, but not just romantic, dramatic, and horror movies. I do like anime, Marvel, science fiction, and most importantly, Disney movies. And everybody around the whole entire world loves Disney. And again, some others stopped watching Disney. So in order to help my channel out, I decided to make another video section called Disney Magical Reviews. And I'm also joined by Andreas, since he and I are big fans of Disney. And so every once in a while, in a month or so, we'll actually be talking about our thoughts about Disney animated feature movies. This does not include some Disney sequels that were done in the different studios like The Little Mermaid 2, Peter Pan 2, Jungle Book 2, any Disney live action remakes, or Pixar. Those will be in different sections. But seriously, we won't be doing any of the Disney live action movies. So let's get down on the road with these famous, classic, timeless, magical, heart-grabbing Disney animated feature films. So to start things off with our Disney magical thoughts, let's start with the recent 60th Disney animated studio feature.
This is our home, we've got every generation, so full of music.
Encanto. You know, when I actually heard about this movie after Raya and the Last Dragon, I almost thought it was going to be one of those kind of boring Disney animated feature films. But when I went to go see this nearly 3 times, I love this movie so much badly enough. How about you?
I love this movie too. Disney has finally hit their stride, letting us know that they can still make great movies, even if this is actually one of their original movies, something that's made up, like similar to The Lion King, Wreck-It Ralph, Zootopia. Sure, we've always known them as adapting films from fairy tales, folklore, legends, and books, but this is one of those few moments that they can show us they can still do original content.
And you know, something about this, when I went to watch this movie, as much as I like to enjoy Coco, I actually really enjoyed this movie from Disney Animated Studio because I don't know if anybody else noticed this or if they have the same thoughts about this, but I almost thought this was kind of Disney's way of their version of the Loud House. Because if you think about it, the main character is Maribel, who didn't get like a single gift on the first day, but everybody else actually got their supernatural talented gift. Well, not everybody, considering that some of the guys actually married some of the women in this one. But you know what? The story itself is just around the entire house. She kind of goes on an adventure. Well, kind of. It's just around that entire house. Kind of like what you saw in the episode Under Pressure of the Loud House. So much I can actually enjoy so much the entire story. And I didn't know what the story was going to be about, but when I watched the entire movie, I just actually freaking loved it. Especially the songs, which we'll get to in a few minutes. Right now, let's talk about how the animation is. Holy shit. So much what Disney has outdone themselves once again. I haven't seen a good Disney feature like this since the Lion King. Oh my gosh. What do you think?
I think the animation is pretty phenomenal. Sure, you look around and every animation studio is doing computer animation, and Disney is one of the latest to adapt, but they can show us they can still do good in computer animation as they did with traditional hand-drawn animation. With all the characters' abilities, even the Casieta coming to life, like in animated objects, which Disney had a lot of experience animating in animated objects, like in Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and even with Moana in the ocean.
Yes. Some people are wishing they actually had a house like this one too. Come to think of it, my mother actually said that one too.
I'm sure Mickey had this problem once in Mickey Mouse Works shorts.
In fact, I would like to see how Disney World is actually going to do something like this in the movie, having a house come to life in this one. Now let's get to that's the good best parts. The characters. You can take this one.
Since this is a character-driven story, it has to focus on making these characters likable in order for you to enjoy them, in order to laugh as much as you will cry with them. And just like with all their other movies, Disney did not fail at this. Sure, some characters may seem a bit uncomfortable, but they show us that these characters have flaws, and they're not always perfect, and that's alright, because it shows them that they're just like everybody else. Not everyone in the world is perfect. And if you're out there and saying that there's nothing wrong with me, I'm perfect like just the way I am. Everybody else is stupid but me. I'm calling bull crap on you.
And that's the best thing. Somehow I can actually really enjoy these characters. I mean, some of you guys could say that you didn't like this movie because it was too mean-spirited, but let me tell you something. It kind of helps the story out a bit. Because if you know The Loud House, then you should already know how this actually goes. Especially with Maribel. She's like Lincoln Loud of the actual group. Yeah, she's quirky, she's kind of smart, and she does actually have a caring, thoughtful heart for about the family, that she actually wants to prove something, that she can be kind of gifted, even if she doesn't have powers. Look how Batman is. He doesn't have superpowers, and yet he knows what he does.
And yeah, Syndrome said this too, even though he's the villain, but he's right about this.
And another thing that some people don't know about, take a look at the characters' clothing designs in the actual movie. Because honestly, there's flowers on Isabella, chameleons on Carmelo, there's rain drizzle on Peppa's dress, there's sound waves on Dolores, who I'm going to talk to in a few minutes. Bruno has hourglass, and Antonio has an actual animal symbols on his actual clothes. But let me get to something that I didn't even notice when I first watched this. On Maribel's actual clothing dress, there's actually that kind of little rainbow symbol that kind of represents bisexuals. Now let me tell you something. I didn't know this, that so many people think that whenever they see something, it's always gay so much that time, and they gotta ship someone with these ones. I mean, let me tell you something. There's no reason to actually do that, because honestly, there are some characters that are better off not being an actual couple. Take a look at Elsa. She didn't need a love interest. Wait a minute. This is where that whole Phantom bullshit actually started off with, didn't it?
Oh, don't get me started. Actually, I can answer why Maribel has all those colors on her dress. Because you notice each character in the Madrigal family has a specific color on them. Well, right. Merida has all the colors because she doesn't have a gift, that she's special just the way she is, that all the colors of her family are represented on her.
Right,
so feel like she's part of them.
Right. Shoot. And some of the characters, when I watched this movie, I kind of picked up some resemblance about which characters they represent. Like Maribel is Lincoln, Isabella is Lola, Luisa is Lynn. Shoot, I could just say Antonio would be Lana, Carmelo is Luann, Pepper, well, I would say Lori, and Dolores would be Lucy, Bruno, oh my gosh, so much Lisa. I picked so much of this shit up right there because some of the characters actually do have the kind of resemblance to it. So pretty much for me, I really enjoyed so much these characters, and they're pretty much likable. Another important character that needs to be talked about is Abuela. Now, some people would say that she'd be like the main antagonist, but in my case, I'd say no to that one. Of course, I did pick up a few Mother Gothel vibes on this character, but honestly, she's not the real main antagonist, I could say. I guess you could say the actual antagonist was the entire family itself.
Yeah, I know that she was too hard on everybody, even counting out Bruno and even Maribel as the outcasts. But don't take it too hard. It's not like she's literally Mother Gothel. She's not even worse than Buckluck.
Oh!
But the thing is, the reason she's worried about Maribel, well, because she didn't get her gift, is because she's worried about losing that miracle. The one that she was given after she literally lost her husband.
Oh my gosh.
She held on to that pain of losing her husband for so long. Can you really blame her?
I guess not. Now let's get to the best part about this movie. The songs.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda did it again, just like he did with Moana, showing that Disney is still wanting to use Broadway talent for the songs to make them enjoyable, just like they did during Disney's Renaissance.
Holy shit. When I heard some of this music, I felt like some of this came from Moana, but when I saw the credits, it is that same guy who actually did do that. Mm-hmm. The songs are really much enjoyable in this one, because unlike in Raya and the Last Dragon, they decided to make an actual musical with this kind of Disney feature. And kind of think of it, you got two Disney animated feature films that have a female as a protagonist.
That came out in the same year.
Yeah! That's kind of rare for Disney.
And of course, the most popular songs out of this movie are We Don't Talk About Bruno and Surface Pressure.
So much of songs I really enjoyed that kept me humming. 3 of them actually kept my toes tapping. And they kind of feel like they're a modern hip-hop kind of tune, but at least they work to this film. Okay, on the count of 3, what is your favorite song? 3, 2, 1. We don't talk about Bruno. Holy shit, I do not believe this. Everybody is talking about this song. Why? I don't know. What do you think?
I think because not only is the music to the song catchy, I've heard some rumors that because it almost resembles like a villain song. Because I was thinking, oh no, is Bruno going to be the villain? And I hope not, because Bruno seems likable, especially when he's played by John Leguizamo, who's best known for playing Sid from the Ice Age franchise. And who knew that John Leguizamo could sing?
I'm sorry about your wedding, didn't mean to be upsetting. That wasn't a prophecy, I could just see you were sweating. And I wanted you to know that your bro loves you so.
Oh my gosh, that's another thing too about this feature film. Every time when they kept bringing up We Don't Talk About Bruno, I was like, what's with this guy anyway? And they made it sound like he's the villain, but my thoughts, I didn't want to believe that he was actually the villain. Maybe he kind of was misunderstood. I'll tell you who I almost thought who the villain was. Prepare to kick yourselves. Isabella.
Have you lost your mind?
Oh my gosh, I almost thought so because she kept saying every insult and tried to drive Maribel away from her life every time she got the chance to do so.
Yeah, you thought that butt cluck was bad from Chicken Little.
Oh my gosh. I don't think some of the characters are the actual worst. It's that they kind of got blinded for what they were doing around, and they got so much work to do.
Similar to Inside Out, this didn't need a villain. The conflict comes from their own inner struggles.
That is true. That's what I like about it so much. I didn't want to think Bruno was the actual villain so much badly. I almost thought Isabella was, but there was another thing I forgot to mention about Maribel. The voice actress who actually voiced her, you might remember her in DuckTales, the remake, as Goslin. She used to be a bisexual until she got single and actually became a heterosexual. Her talent is actually great in this movie. In fact, I would be too damn surprised if they added her to the Disney Princess, which I still am not confused about how they added Mulan into that section.
Well, there's a video I know that can explain all that, but we'll get to that later.
Dolores, on the other hand, oh my gosh. This one seems like Whisper a lot. Almost close to Olaf, but somehow I think she was the funniest character in this one. What's your favorite part of the movie?
I think my favorite part is Mirabel and Antonio. When Antonio's about to get his gift, he's out there asking Mirabel for help, and she can't do it because everybody knows what happened the last time, but she gets over her anxiety in order to help her cousin. That proves how good of a character Mirabel is. She wants to set aside whatever she's struggling with in order to help the person she's very close to.
Right. Everybody seems to love this part so much. Especially the moral, the message of it. It actually works in this one, unlike Raya and the Last Dragon. I think this was probably the best part of the movie that so much touched everybody's heart so much. He kind of has a little anxiety about getting his own door, and Maribel actually comforts him so much. I just love so much that Antonio seems to be the only one who actually cares about a member of the actual family. When he said,
I wish you can have a door.
See, he did not seem selfish at that point. He cares for what Maribel is actually doing for him. It's like he cares for his entire family.
He does. He's 5.
I just love this character. On an overall, so much with this Disney animated feature film being the 60th animated Disney feature film.
Not to mention that I'd like to give a shout out to Walt Disney Animation Studios for being the first animation studios to get over to 60 features in almost 100 years.
Oh my gosh, yes. So I think Encanto is actually a must watch.
If you're a Disney fan, an animation fan, or a Lin-Manuel fan after with Moana and Hamilton, go see this.
Oh my gosh. So much the songs, the characters, and even the story will actually get you going. It actually works, and it feels so much enjoyable. Say it's mean-spirited, but let me tell you something. Some things exactly work for it, because honestly, if so many people have actually seen drama fictional films that actually had a kind of mean-spirited tone to it, then you'll actually get over with this one. Because let me tell you, it's not all that bad, because so much it works. You think Disney is actually going to be so much gentle-hearted with so much fairy tales and have so much nice characters in it?
They gotta balance it. Light can't exist without shadows.
Exactly. That's exactly what I love so much about it.
They are able to put the dark moments in order for you to earn the light moments. I mean, remember what happened with Bambi?
Yes.
Everybody knows that one scene.
Everything has so much dark magic to it. We'll get to those films in a few months later. All in all, Encanto is actually a green light passable for this one. Now before we can actually end this video, we actually got to figure out what's the next Disney film. In that case, Andreas, let's see what kind of Disney film you're actually going to draw for next month about what we're going to talk about.
I don't know. It's hard to say. It'll be quite a mystery.
Oh, we actually got a real good one here. Till then, we got to keep you guys guessing. Till next time.